What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Sports here, and I'm back with another video. More videos are on the way. School's done, so now we're going to be seeing some more consistent uploads. Again, I'm dealing with the internet situation, so everything's going good. Videos hopefully 2 or 3 times a week. So some big news came out of Buffalo. We've all heard it here in the hockey world. Tim Murray, the GM of the Buffalo, or former GM now of the Buffalo Sabres, and Dan Bylsma, now former head coach of the Buffalo Sabres. So let's just put our facts together. So obviously last year everybody was excited with the fact that the team was looking better. Murray was making some good moves. Bylsma obviously is a pretty well-known coach. Pittsburgh Penguins won a Stanley Cup, and obviously that's some pretty, great talent there already with Dan Bylsma, and of course Murray was getting talent, and it was looking like Buffalo was on their way to a playoff race. Of course, Jack Eichel got hurt early in the season, but things were at least looking up for Buffalo. And the season goes on and they don't do much. It's coming out that I believe Reinhart was not very happy with Bylsma. There were some other players that weren't very happy with ice time and various off and on ice issues. And then I want to say that I think it was actually the day before or 2 days before Bylsma was fired and Murray was fired, Jack Eichel came out. Somebody said that Jack Eichel said he would not sign a contract extension with Buffalo if Dan Bylsma remained the head coach. And then, fast forward to now, Bylsma's fired. So another fact on Jack Eichel was the fact that his agent, I believe, came out and said that that was a fabricated story and that it wasn't true. And in the press conference that was today, the Buffalo Sabres also stated that that was a fabricated story and that it wasn't true, but they did admit that there were some unhappy people with Bylsma, of course, because of them missing the playoffs. This is where I am going to stand on this. First of all, I don't want to hear negative comments about my opinion that's going to come up. I want to hear I want to have a conversation, because I'm just going to say Bylsma is probably overrated in my books. The team that he had in Pittsburgh was an unbelievable team, and I'm not sure that coaching was the biggest reason or one of the big reasons why they won a Stanley Cup. I'd actually have it more towards the bottom of importance of Pittsburgh's success. Obviously Bylsma's in the NHL for a reason. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it was looking good for Buffalo because Bylsma came in. But look at what he did with this. Not a lot. I mean, Buffalo had a better team than they placed this year. And Jack Eichel has every right to be frustrated with players, and I think that he was just as frustrated with Bylsma. And I mean, I think Murray did an okay job of building, and I understand why he was fired, but I also am not sure why he was at the same time, because he was getting pieces, the team was looking better. Eichel got hurt. I honestly think Bylsma should have been the only one fired. But from some rumblings, you've heard that maybe it's a possibility that he was asked to fire Bylsma and he didn't. So they're like, well, see ya, the both of you are gone. So let's just look at what's going to happen now. So Jack Eichel, obviously, everybody's pointing fingers at him, and we're never going to know probably if that was true or not. Dan Bylsma is now a free agent coach, and he probably will find another job within the NHL or AHL or wherever he wants to go because he's got a name. Murray, I think he'll find a spot too. I'm not sure where, but I think he'll find a spot. I'm interested to see where Buffalo goes next, because they're not... What also makes this really funny is the fact that Buffalo's not really in a huge rebuild. They're actually in a decent spot. They've got Nylander coming up, obviously Jack Eichel. They could probably use an upgrade at the goaltending position. I know Leonard is not bad, but he's not a starting goalie in my opinion. They could do better there. I'm not sure where they're going to go next. And going into this video, I didn't want to do research. I didn't want to do anything because these are my actual thoughts just coming out. This is what I think about Buffalo right now. This is where they're going to be. I think next year they're going to be a team that's knocking on the door again. but it depends on what they do in the offseason again. So this is why the hunt for the GM probably is very important, because they need to make some moves, because Jack Eichel obviously wants to win, because he should want to win. Look at what he said in the interview. He doesn't feel like the teammates were trying. It looked like everybody was just happy to be there. And that's not how it should be. He wants to win, so get him some guys to play with. I'm not saying go and sell the farm, sign every free agent you can, but obviously he needs some guys to play with. That's obviously step one. Then you need to grab a coach, which I'm not sure who they're going to get. Obviously, it's too early to think about that, but they really need help. They do, because this situation isn't going to look good for a little bit, because everybody's pointing fingers everywhere. And this video, again, is just, I didn't even know what I was going to say going into this video, because I don't know what to say about Buffalo. I mean, I'm not a fan of them, but the fact of the matter is they should have been better than what they were this year. They have better talent and better players, and they had a coach that everybody thought was going to be able to do it, and they didn't. They just didn't. And you know what? My final opinion here is this. Obviously, first of all, Buffalo, this is probably a good thing. I mean, you're starting clean again. You've got Jack Eichel, an unbelievable, fantastic, generational superstar, Jack Eichel. You've got some pieces coming up, like I stated, Nylander, and you've got Reinhardt. You've got some pieces. And obviously, there's more prospects, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'm going to forget things. You guys are gonna get probably a better coach, some help in the GM position, and you're gonna have to fill spots. And I think that's what the owner of the Buffalo Sabres is gonna tell, and the people all around him are also gonna tell people, like, we're not here to wait around. Like, Eichel wants to win, we want to win. I promised these fans a Stanley Cup in his press conference in 2011 or whatever. They said that. We're here to do what everybody wants to do, win a cup. Only one team can win. I read that just in an NHL.com interview. And you know what? I don't want to think Eichel was the reason they were fired, but what happens when your superstar, face of the franchise, currently says that, and then the next day they're fired? I'm sure he had a little bit of an influence on that. So, thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe. If you want to see some videos, like recommend videos that you want me to make, I'm going to have lots of time to make videos now when I'm not at work. I'm really trying to crack down on this and make videos for you guys. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. It should be very soon. Peace.